What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Between the Cons. My name is Chris, and with me today, the Ginger Giant.
I'm trying to tone it back.
It always catches me off guard, though. It's always...
Is he gonna do it?
You always wait just the right amount of time before you start, to where it's like, okay, now it's awkward. Oh, there it is. Now it's even more awkward. Great, awesome.
Because we've done the same thing however many times.
Enough
Enough
times. But thanks to everybody for tuning into the show today. For everybody that has hit us up on the internet this week, thank you for that. If you don't follow us on the internet, we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We post all the times. So, lots of times. We have posted lots of times. So please follow us. I'm really giving the hard sell for our social. Mm-hmm. We're decent at it. And then anybody that's left a review or rating on the iTunes store, we really appreciate that. If you haven't done it yet, please do.
Gosh, we love it when you do that.
Ginger Giant loves it when you do that.
We all do.
We all do. We love it when you do that. Oh. Anyways, so today is Thursday, May 4th. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody.
May the 4th be with you.
Always.
Why the Jedi gotta end, Luke?
Always.
Why the Jedi gotta end? That's all I'm saying.
Why the Jedi gotta end?
We got like 7 months. I'm already impatient.
They should give me movies faster. I feel like that's how bad movies happen. That's how DC happened, I think.
Let's just get movies out into the atmosphere as fast as possible.
Or just like with little decision making.
We can make a great trailer.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hope Wonder Woman's good.
Same. Well, we're going to talk about some news today. We got a pineapple episode for you coming up. So I guess we should probably get into that right now-ish.
Let's do it.
We're going to have a pineapple situation. What should I do? Pineapple. The word that cannot be spoken. Pineapple.
Just want to say pineapple. If
Pineapples are fun. My dad used to throw them at me.
Pineapple.
Seriously? Wow.
All right, so first pineapple episode or piece.
No, it's point.
We're all section.
Tidbit.
I'm just gonna kind of riff a little bit on American Gods. Chris, our host, has not seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm gonna try my hardest to not give away any major spoilers or anything, but for those of you who don't know, Neil Gaiman's work from 2000, American Gods. Yes. Became a TV show.
Yes.
They put out some very colorful posters.
Neon.
And then put it on the Stars Network.
Stars.
I didn't know.
This is your weird British sidekick hype man right now.
Yep, and you're killing it. You're literally killing it. So I read this book about a month ago. I have heard of Gaiman's work for a really long time. Never read him. He's done The Sandman,
Eternals,
Anansi Boys. He does a lot. Norse mythology that came out in like February, not long ago. Read that as well this year. And just generally, I'm super into myth and lore and stuff. And he, in most of what he does, sort of weaves in Norse mythology, African mythology, all of the kind of major mythologies of the world into the stories that he writes. And this one is, I'm not an expert on him, but you might say the penultimate. It's of all of those things. It's the basic premise is that when people came to America, whether they came as explorers or they came as slaves or they came as immigrants, they brought the people, the gods that they worshipped along with them, and that they became a part of Americana, if you will. And so the story is based around an ex-con who leaves prison and soon gets swept up by a guy named Mr. Wednesday, starts to work for him, and they go on a road trip around America And soon to find out they are in the midst of a war between the old gods like Odin and Thor and
those folk,
and new gods like technology and other things like that. I won't ruin it for you, but what I will comment on is the book itself. My opinion, this humble reader's opinion, is that it was a little dry. There are long periods on the road, and there are stops in towns where nothing much happens. The end is very exciting, and it's absolutely worth a read. But I was looking forward to the show particularly because, Chris, I'm sure you experience this as well. When something that you've read and have only had in your mind and not seen an outward expression of before finally comes onto screen, it brings its own new flavor.
Oh yeah.
And that is
the fingerprint, if you will.
For sure. And that is 100% what the first episode accomplished on Sunday night, just a few short days ago. There is a lot of color. The action sequences are really vivid, and there was a lot in the book that I didn't pick up, but then remembered once I saw it on screen, particularly with a couple of the interactions with a couple of the gods. I really enjoyed this first episode, and I'm stoked to see the rest of this season. Just one kind of alert: if you are a younger viewer, you will probably want to get your parents' permission, because this is a very mature show. It is
extended cable.
It's TV mature, but it's for
mature plus
for violence, yes, but also a couple scenes of some pretty graphic
busyness,
getting it on. So just wanted to make sure our viewers our listeners are fair warned about what they will go to view. But it is very entertaining. I'm stoked to see the rest of it. Pineapple.
So Dwayne Johnson posted on Instagram today a photo of him working out, doing dips actually with a giant chain around his neck. As you do.
What else does The Rock do, though? That's when I picture The Rock, that's what he's doing on his day off.
It's like, what day is it? Oh, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's giant chain around the neck dip day. That's what day it is. But anyways, he posted that, and he posted a really long comment, as anyone who follows The Rock knows very well, because that's what he does.
85 million followers.
And his 8,500 word comments. Man loves writing. Know that much. But basically the post was to confirm that Rampage, the movie, is starting filming in Atlanta today.
It kind of begs a question, doesn't it?
Why? Just a one-word sentence.
One word.
So Rampage, for those of you that don't know, is an old arcade game. You've probably seen it and or played it. It's got a giant wolf, a giant lizard, and a giant ape. And you just go up and down buildings, and you punch out the buildings to try and make them crash before you get shot down. It's
a really basic premise of a game.
But it's a super fun game. Love the game. Love the arcade game. It's a great time. But apparently somebody was like, you know what? Dwayne Johnson is doing Jumanji and the Jungle Cruise. We should help him tank his career by adding Rampage to that list. Which I don't understand. But his comment also contained a plot synopsis for the movie, which I'm now going to read. And this is, keep in mind, Dwayne Johnson posting. So anytime it says I or me, it's Dwayne Johnson.
It's not Christopher.
I head up an anti-poaching unit out of Rwanda. My best friend is a rare albino gorilla named George. Very bad people infect George, an alligator, and a wolf with a serum. All three animals grow at an unprecedented rate. Their size, speed, agility, and violent aggression is off the charts. They go on a deadly rampage. Huh? and want to destroy the world. George not happy, me not happy. When animals like you, they lick you. When they don't like you, they kill you. I will hunt down the bad people who did this to my best friend. And when I find them, I will not lick them. What? It's a weird thing to say. And then he goes on to say, we have the best VFX monster making team on the planet. Our actors and crew have been working very hard to raise the monster genre bar. As always, let's have some fun. Let's shoot. There are video games that should be turned into movies. And then there are video games that should not be turned into movies. I feel like anything on like an 8 or... definitely anything on an 8-bit.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Most things on a 16-bit should not be movies. Because you just don't have enough story there.
Yeah.
Most things. I will say most things. Yeah. Legend of Zelda, I will pay endless amounts of money for that movie. That's not true. I'll pay approximately $15.
One time.
And
I will pay my Netflix subscription to see that movie when it comes out later.
Boom. There you go. But yeah, I just don't understand why this is a thing. But apparently there's nothing we can do to stop it.
I sort of hope it's tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. It better be.
Because he does that tongue-in-cheek acting, action... Because obviously he's a specimen and does the like... The action... And like Baywatch looks kind of hilarious. Because it's tongue-in-cheek.
It looks like 21 Jump Street Beach Edition.
Right. And I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
If this is kind of like that, where he's sort of tongue-in-cheek doing that, like, that might be sort of watchable.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like it might be like John Wick, but more tongue-in-cheek. Like, a guy injected my best friend Gorilla.
See, that's the tongue-in-cheek part. Like, to me, like, that could be where they have...
Yeah.
He's my best friend, Gorilla.
Yeah.
Like, this can't be I don't know. But if they do it super serious...
It's going to be so bad. It's
going to be the worst.
I don't know. My fingers are crossed that it's not the worst. Because I'm probably going to see it. If it's really terrible, I'll see it. And if it's good, I'll see it.
Yeah.
If it's anywhere in between,
we're going to talk about it on the show.
I'll probably still see it anyways. We'll probably have a round table on it, which would be
everything
The
Rock does these days anyway.
Yeah, he is a specimen.
He's a watchable guy.
Yeah, he is. Ladies. Pineapple.
So for one of the stranger pieces of news you'll hear today, Ed Sheeran, the ginger British one-man band.
Not a one-man band.
Well, often he does the mixing in his live shows and stuff, and he does it all by himself.
Wish you guys could have seen the hand motion that just came with mixing.
The mixing. He's going to be on Game of Thrones this year.
Great.
Can't wait for that.
That's how you know your music career is taking off. You show up on a HBO late night nudie drama.
Yep. He confirmed this recently by saying he elaborated about his role by saying, "I sing a song," and then referring to Maisie Williams, aka Arya, the character Arya, who's the little assassin.
Yeah.
I sing a song, and then she goes, "Oh, that's a nice song."
Sounds like a real killer role he's got there.
You'd think it was a killer role because it involves Arya and Game of Thrones, but he confirms that he won't be dying. Unlike many of the other minor characters on that show.
That's unfortunate. I hope he plays like a bard.
Yeah, maybe it's just a bard in a bar.
Or like even at like not a palace, but like one of the, like he is employed as like entertainment.
Yeah.
And he's like a jester. Singing jester.
I don't see it. Like, I don't see him fitting on the show. I mean, he's a little pasty white ginger boy, and I can say that because I'm a large pasty white ginger boy. But anyway, he joins the New York Mets pitcher Noah Syndergaard as celebrity is joining this year's 7 episodes.
That makes sense.
Noah looks like a Norse god. So he looks like he could, just be standing in the background.
With the last name Syndergaard.
Yeah.
He's got the double A. He belongs.
He's 6'5" and 260 pounds and had the highest pitching miles per hour last year, average of 98.1. He averaged that throughout a year, and he just tore his lat this year. So, 3 days ago. So sad for him, but he fits more into the show.
Yeah.
Hope that works out well. But anyway, Ed Sheeran's joining as well. Game of Thrones is arriving on HBO July 16th.
And HBO Go.
The day after it airs on HBO.
HBO Go.
Pineapple.
So there's a new Kingsman featurette. It's pretty cool.
Can't wait.
It's short. It's like a minute.
Yeah.
So it's not a whole lot, but it does have some new footage. But the most interesting thing, which for some reason I hadn't put together yet, it features the official Statesman bourbon. So, Old Forester has actually made a bourbon as like a sponsor of the movie, I guess.
Okay.
It's like
product placement.
The Happy Meal toy for adults. It's like, well, we can't put Kingsman toys in Happy Meals, so let's just make a 95 proof bourbon. Okay. But I hadn't put it together yet because in some of the trailer and some of the clips that we've seen, there's like a fight scene going on, and there are giant whiskey casks in the background that say Statesman on them, that have like Statesman branded on it. So obviously, this bourbon plays like a huge part in the movie, and I was thinking about it today, and I was just like giggling to myself because it's like the British Kingsman is like a tailor. Like it's like you walk in, it's full of fine suits and nice things, and in America it's bourbon. Like that just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And like one of the guys has a friggin' whip. The other guy carries like an old rider, like hinge action hinge cocking mechanism, like rifle, and it's just like, this is so American. This is the worst, best American stereotypes. But I think it's really cool that Old Forester has made a Statesman bourbon. I'm probably definitely gonna buy some
and probably sneak it into the theater. What?
How cool would it be? Because we do have some, like a couple of one of the AMCs, and then Alamo Drafthouse, of course. Mm-hmm. How cool would it be if they served like Old Forester Statesman bourbon?
What a cool PR
just for the release.
Yeah,
that'd be so neat.
That'd be really cool.
But yeah, I thought it was a really neat thing. I was kind of kicking myself because I just hadn't pieced it together yet. But it's like very obviously, you guys are like in some way, shape, or form, you are shining like with all these big old casks. But it's really cool. Kingsman, of course, coming out September 22nd. Cannot wait.
Looks just as entertaining as the first.
Yeah, it's a really good time, a very ridiculous time.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this one, with the addition of Channing Tatum and some other people that are going to be in it, as well as the return of Colin Firth, I think it's going to be a really great time.
Be a hit.
Yeah, pineapple.
Logan is getting a black and white release in theaters. Kind of awesome. James Mangold confirmed this on April 29th, just a couple days ago after we recorded it, before we recorded this, added that the entire film was already regraded and timed shot by shot. So they didn't really have to go back and do all of this.
Yeah.
They planned to do this from the beginning.
Which is awesome.
Another cool aspect of this re-release, if you will, is that there will be a live stream Q&A with him after the movie. So I think that probably means that there will be a recorded Q&A session with him.
It might be like a live tweet thing.
Maybe so.
Like tweet questions.
Yeah.
Maybe it shows at the same time across the country.
Maybe so. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Same time across the country or limited release so he knows like when to be available for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really cool idea. It's definitely, you know, in line with the old man Logan kind of feel anyway.
For sure.
A really cool thing for you know, a director to think about doing to maintain the hype of what could be Hugh Jackman's last run as Wolverine. I have my doubts, but
I think we all have our doubts, but I don't know if they're doubts or like selfish hopes
that he'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to see him, you know, in the Deadpool series or.
Oh yeah. I feel like just having him as Hugh Jackman, like cameo as Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 2, would be hilarious because everybody would be so pumped that it's Wolverine, and then he's just like
just sipping coffee in a
like,
coffee
hey, how's it
shop.
going? My name's Hugh, and everybody's like, oh, but he's got that super thick Aussie accent, and it's just like anger, but at the same time like undeniable attraction.
Right.
What?
Be on the lookout for the release date for that. I wasn't able to find that, so sorry.
Soonish.
Sorry, guys. But yeah, pineapple.
So Finn Wolfhard, Wolford, there we go, had an interview where he talked about Stranger Things Season 2, which we got the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Super Bowl was the first trailer for it. Which was a really dope trailer, really horrifying trailer. But we've got like so much stuff dropped this week or not this week, but this last month for Stranger Things. Finn, who plays Mike on the show, probably should have led with that. Unless you're just like a big
know who that guy is.
Big fanboy. So he was talking about the show, and he said, I think this season is going to be a lot darker. It's a lot more horror-oriented, and I think people are going to like it a lot more than the first season, which is awesome because, in my opinion, the first season was like a thriller horror.
Yeah.
And thriller like definitely comes first on purpose.
Yes.
Because it's more like the long game.
Yes.
Instead of like the shock and awe kind of horror stuff.
Yeah. It was widely attractive.
Oh yeah.
But I think what made it unattractive for some was the question I got asked a lot was, is this really scary? Like, I don't want to watch a horror TV show.
Right.
And the answer to that is no. There are thrilling moments, and most episodes were thrilling, and there were like 2 to 3 moments of actual horror, if you will.
And they were all in like the last 3 episodes of the season.
Right. But yeah, I'm definitely with you that I'm stoked for it to be more horror centric.
Oh yeah, same. But Gatton Matarazzo, who plays Dustin, who is everybody's favorite lispy kid.
You love him.
He says the great thing about this season is you get to see insights into each character on their own, which is awesome.
We were all pretty much together the first season.
Except for Will.
Yeah.
God bless his soul. But he says you're going to get a lot more into the... you're going to see a lot more into the lives of the characters, how they're coping with what's been going on. They're all very emotionally scarred. They feel alone because their best friend is back, but he's not acting like their best friend anymore. He's changed. Which is like, changed to what? Changed to what?
That last scene of the last episode where he's still very affected by the Upside Down.
Well, and then like you look at the trailer for season 2 that we got during the Super Bowl, and
he's
like
having visions,
the big spider thing, like, oh my gosh. But anyways, I'm so pumped on Stranger Things season 2. I cannot wait for it to come out. But I have to because it comes out on Halloween.
Yep.
So sorry kids, there will be no trick-or-treating this year. All the adults will be doing Netflix and Thrill.
Oh, that was nice.
I know.
I'm probably just gonna put candy in in a bowl outside my door and lock the door. So once the candy's gone, sorry.
Yeah. And that one kid is gonna empty the bowl.
Bank.
This is the best Halloween ever.
And I'm inside going, this is the best Halloween ever.
But anyways, Stranger Things Season 2, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more information and a lot more footage between now and October.
Trailers will be coming out over the summer. It's gonna be sick.
It's going to be a great time. So keep your eyes peeled. Keep listening to Between the Cons. We'll fill you in as we get Mo Dates Pineapple.
So I just realized I didn't do a crucial piece of research for my next piece, but I'll just go ahead and talk about it anyway. J.K. Rowling today, meaning like
Tuesday,
2 days before you guys are hearing this, she on Twitter apologized for killing Snape in the Battle for Hogwarts. Today, for May 2nd, is the day in the books that the Battle for Hogwarts happened. So it's the anniversary. And the piece of research I didn't do was this is not the first time she's apologized for killing a character. She's apologized in the past for killing. I believe it was Dumbledore, but
Sirius.
It's Sirius. Well, that's the one she's apologized for now.
That's Severus.
Oh, Sirius. Excuse me. Yes. Yeah. And Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Major characters in the story that in the last book are just
slaughtered.
And people are going to be talking about this series for the rest of our lives because it's so iconic.
Yeah. It's so well written.
To put my 2 cents in there, Harry Potter needed something like that, right?
Yeah.
Harry Potter needed an ending that gave the people who grew up with that series from the age of 12 when the first book came out to the age of 20 or 24 or something more adult to attach themselves to.
Yeah. The book ages with the reader.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a bummer for me that she's coming out and apologizing for this stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of want the anthology to be it. If she wants to write more in that world, great. And it seems like maybe that's happening with Fantastic Beasts.
I mean, she didn't say.
I wish I hadn't done it.
I wish I hadn't done it.
That's true.
I think it's just like, hey, you guys are very obviously butthurt, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Her actual tweet, I'll just read it for you, but she says, okay, here it is. Please don't start I don't sound like her. I need to do a British accent. But I'm not going to do it. Please don't start flame wars over it. But this year, I'd like to apologize for killing. And then she says, whispers, Snape. And then she runs for cover.
Yeah, but she does this every year. I mean, every May 2nd she apologizes for killing someone. Yeah. So like until she dies, she has enough names to apologize for.
Right.
So I think it's more that than it is like, I'm really sorry I killed this person.
Yeah.
Which sounds terrible, me saying into a microphone.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry I killed this person.
It'd be cool to hear your thoughts on this. If you've got an opinion about, whether JK is in the right or the wrong, maybe shoot us.
Or whether she's just JKing.
Yeah, just JKing around. Shoot us something on the Facebooks or the Twitters.
The Google box.
Let us know. Pineapple.
Dark Tower.
O.
Dark Tower.
M-G.
So Dark Tower, since the beginning, like even the announcement for the Dark Tower was outstanding. It was just like Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba on Twitter. Man with Black walks into the desert, and the gunslinger follows.
Yeah.
And they tweeted that. Like that's how
across the desert.
That's how they announced the Dark Tower. And then Stephen King retweeted it. Like that was the announcement for the Dark Tower. So they're getting to the point now where, I mean, the movie's coming out soon, so they have to like get some trailers out. So they, once again, took to Twitter, they being Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, took to Twitter and they did kind of a similar thing where they got in an argument.
Right.
They got in a Twitter fight about, like, in character. And, like, they were just talking trash back and forth. It was awesome. And then Matthew McConaughey says, well, I don't know much, but I do know this. And he just attaches a link. And you click on the link, and it's the first promo spot for the Dark Tower.
15
it's
seconds.
Like 15 seconds, but it's so dope. It's like, it starts in like zoomed in on him. He's walking through the snow. There are dead bodies laying all around him. And in the background, there's this like really creepy like whistling.
Yeah.
And him saying, the war is over. You know what's coming. The tower will fall. And like I watched it and just like covered in goosebumps. Oh. I was just like, oh my gosh, this was good. And then on Idris Elba's response, he says something, I don't remember, but he does the same thing. He posts a link and you click on it. It's another 15-second promo spot. And it's like the gunslinger's promo spot. And it looks sick.
Yeah.
It starts out with the door from Drawing of the Three.
Yep.
Which is dope.
Dope.
And then it does like him throwing back like his trench coat.
Yeah.
And he's got like this hat on. It looks awesome. And then immediately cuts to him like mid-battle. He throws a quick reload up, which is like a revolver. It's this little thing that 6 bullets sit in, so you can quickly drop them into a revolver. He throws one of those up in the air. He spins around and catches it in a revolver, continues spinning, and catches another bullet in the chamber of his other gun, and just starts like firing shots. It's so dope. And then in the background of his, it's I do not kill with my gun. I kill with my heart. Oh. Which is, for those of you that haven't read The Dark Tower, it is it's like the gunslinger's code.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 different things.
Right.
But it's so cool. So cool. It was really also really chilling, but in a very different way.
Right.
Like so dope it gave me goosebumps. And I just wrote this in the notes, but like it's the only thing I have to say about the Dark Tower, which is give it to me.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. But Dark Tower comes out on August 4th. I'm so pumped about it. This is the first really good look we've gotten at the Dark Tower, and
it's just been like crappy street shots.
It's been crappy street shots. We've had like 2 promo photos.
Yeah.
But it's been crappy street shots,
and one in the field,
and then like people talking about like the plot, and the plot as a fan of the book is like wildly concerning.
Yes,
because it's smashing 7 of 8 or 6 of 7 into one movie.
Yeah,
and it's just like
what's that gonna be like, man?
There's so much good in it. Why? So, I don't know. I'm really excited about it. August 4th is when it comes out. I'm really pumped. I hope it doesn't suck. My fingers are going to be crossed so hard when like it starts getting released to critics. But anyways, check out the promo videos. We're also getting a new trailer tomorrow, which is yesterday for you. We'll be getting the first trailer. So,
go check it out.
Check out our Facebook page. It is definitely going to be on there.
Oh yeah, we'll be commenting all over that.
Yeah. But yeah, pineapple.
So today's Thursday. You're listening to this midnight or 7:30 or 10:30 or whatever.
However your city rules.
Wherever
works.
you are, whatever theater is showing this movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 comes out today. Yeah. I know a bunch of us are seeing it Saturday.
$5 movie morning time.
It's the best.
We're a bunch of grown folk.
And $5 is all I have.
We brag about waking up early to see a movie in theaters.
We go hard. What else is going hard is the rumors already starting about Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes.
So, really stoked about this already. James Gunn on board.
Yep.
He and several of the main characters are already talking about things, but he is very understandably taking a break.
Yeah.
Like for the last 3 years, he's just been thinking about Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, waking up.
His quote was, I just need a break from going to sleep and waking up thinking of, like, going to sleep and then waking up thinking about a talking raccoon.
Yeah. Need a little bit of solace from that. That makes sense.
I get it.
What we know right now about Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is that a lot of it is focused on the relationship between Gamora and Nebula.
Right.
The two assassins raised and experimented on by Thanos. Gamora was more good than bad in the first movie, and Nebula was a little bit of like a minor villain, but wasn't killed and has a pretty large part in this next movie. They both have very unique places in the larger MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. And there's talk that after Game of Thrones is what I had in my head. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Yes, Game of Thanos, is that there might be an actual Nebula spinoff.
That would be interesting.
What we do know, however, is that Zoe Saldana is one of the characters that actresses that James Gunn has been talking to extensely about Game of Thrones 3.
Game of Thrones.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my gosh, I still have Game of Thrones in my head.
You're just hung up on Ed Sheeran.
I just can't wait to see another ginger in that show. Gamora will most likely be featured prominently in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Excellent.
Love it. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is set to feature lots of old and new female characters, setting the stage for more Guardians of the Galaxy movies to come. So, lots of rumor going on around that. They will be set, obviously, after both Infinity Wars movies. They probably won't be...
Which is kind of crazy to me. But at the same time, it makes sense because Guardians kind of came out and has stood on its own.
Yes.
But the fact that Guardians 3 is going to... And I'll talk about it more in a second, but Guardians 3 will take place after the MCU as we know it.
Right, because they're in Phase 3.
Right.
Which I think we know ends with Infinity War.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Phase 3 has been very widely stated as no character gets more than 3.
Right.
Like, no character gets more than 3 movies and 3 phases. So, interesting, which I'll touch on more in a second.
Rumors. Rumor.
So, I have Avengers Infinity War details. So, Kevin Feige has said that after the next 2 Avenger films, the MCU will be very different and new, which immediately made me think of the all new, all different push that they just did with the comics.
Right. Yep.
I say just did it. It was like 2 years ago. But that is what I was talking about a second ago, where it's like the MCU as we know it is going to be different, but the Guardians are still going to be the same.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I like that.
For a time. Because we already know after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I don't actually know if we've talked about this, but after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, there will be new Guardians.
Interesting.
I don't know if some of them will change or some of them will stay the same. But anyways, Chris Pratt.
Yep.
Chris Pratt teased about the Avengers Infinity War. That I think this sequel transcends the genre in a way. It's a deep motion picture and something different than just a big spectacle film, which is nice, but also slightly alarming. Because it sounds like something DC would say about their superhero movies. Yes. But there's a difference between dime store novels and literature, and this is like literature. It's going to stand the test of time. It's maybe this decade's movie, if not a longer period of time, which is a huge statement. Huge statement. And then he went on to say, specifically talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy in Avengers Infinity War. We'll definitely have a strong presence, but we're playing supporting cast. You know what I mean? Which is the perfect way to describe the Guardians just at any point. Well, we'll have a strong presence. Well, yeah, you will. You're the Guardians. You're a ragtag group of ridiculous misfits. But he then said, we're there to help them tell an awesome Infinity War story, but Guardians is cosmic. It's its own special offshoot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, accurate. It's just exciting to hear that they're going to be there, they're going to have a strong presence, but they'll still be supporting cast. Right. Which I feel like they're like 60-something Marvel characters that are coming back for Infinity War, which is going to be crazy. I mean, this is going to be the end of the first age of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
This could go on for a really long time.
Yeah. And despite the conversations that we've had on the podcast about like how tough it is to do universes and all this kind of stuff, I dig it because I follow it.
Yeah, sure.
And like getting that captivated in films, like I've told people for like the last few years, like my biggest fear is that I like die and miss the next Marvel movie. And I don't know like what happens.
Right.
Like which I say as a joke, but it's also like you think about it.
It's
and
becoming like a really big thing.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where they're all starting to like nudge into each other. And when I say nudge into each other, I mean like cliffhang into the next movie.
Yes.
Whether it be a movie for that character or a movie for a different character, which I think is really neat. But Avengers Infinity War, we've got a while to wait for it, almost an entire year. Actually,
a year from
one
today,
entire year. Yeah, one entire year. May 4th, 2018 is when it's actually coming out. They're shooting it right now. Or they just...
Or it should be just finished.
They just finished shooting. Just finished shooting. No, they're still shooting. They're still shooting. Anyways, it is somewhere in or around production. And we'll see it in a year. Really excited about it.
3.5 hours, maybe? It's got to be long.
I don't know. I will pay money for that director's cut.
Yeah.
Pineapple. And that's everything for the show. That's all we've got. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, check out Patreon, Satchel, and Amazon. You know where to find those on our website, betweenthecons.com. where you can stream our episodes, link out to social media. Check out Afixa if you like our theme music. He's a good dude. And then make sure you guys come back on Monday because we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
We're doing it. It's finally here.
It's finally here. We're going to go see it this weekend. We're going to check it out. We're going to review it We're going to review it for the Monday show.
Yep.
So you guys make sure you tune in. Check it out. It's going to be a great time. The movie's going to be a great time. So check that out. Listen to the review. Talk trash with us, but in like a good way because we'll probably all love it.
Probably. It's probably going to give it a 10.
Yeah, it's going to get a pretty high score. Pineapple? What do I say now?
I don't know. I think you just ended it. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, well, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. You guys have a great week, and we will talk to you on Monday.
Peace.